So my friends, we've recently made a 4th of July quilt, and there's a lot of cut pieces to our blocks to make them the right size. So what do we do with our scraps other than throwing it away? Let's have some fun today. Hello my friends, and welcome back to Where Wendy Creates. Today we have a bunch of red, white, and blue fabric scraps from a quilt that we are creating, and we want to go ahead and change these into something else so I don't have to throw them away. Okay, so we're going to take one of our longer strips and we're going to put it right underneath the needle, and we're going to needle down so it stays in place. And then we are going to go ahead and lift the foot and start loading it up with all of these scraps. And we are putting them pretty side up. And we're just mixing and matching and putting them in any old direction. Because again, we've got a good handful of scraps. And we're going to create a nice little decoration out of it. And we are just putting them to and fro. And we will have ourselves a nice little decoration at the end for the side of a junk journal, for a tie on a curtain, or for wrapping around a candle base or a flower vase to make it pretty, red, white, and blue for the holiday. Memorial Day, 4th of July, or just any old day, especially if our kitchen or our living room happens to be red, white, and blue at all. And again, we can make these with any color scraps that you have. It just so happens that our latest quilt was red, white, and blue. So those happen to be the scraps that we are using today. And I like to do these snippet rolls, pieces ever so often so my scraps do not build up, because I will tell you, the faster you're making quilts, the faster your scrap pile keeps stacking up. And I like turning these every which way so they're not matching or interlinking. We get different color appeal popping through. Let's do this way. And we can trim these smaller if we need to. And I'm excited. I also get to show you the quilt very soon as well that these pieces came off of. So that will be quite a thrill that I get to share that very soon. And we don't want too many of the same color in the same place, and they do like holding on to each other. So trying to spread them out. And it's okay to put 4 or 5 pieces or layers of fabric overlapping each other. What we're trying to do is get the points stuck out in different directions so that we're not all straight and boring. We want to be wide and beautiful. Okay, and we're running low, as you can see on this one. So I'm going to go ahead and put this one face down so the bottom is much more colorful. And we're just going to start laying this over with our scrap pieces as well. Keep on going down and adding on. Some are longer than others, so if on our final piece, when we lay this out and create our candle or our curtains, if they do look too out of place, we can always trim it. This is fabric. It is easy, easy, easy to make smaller. And again, no matter how small the scraps are, we can put them on our snippet roll just like so. Just make sure we're attaching them in the very center where the thread goes over. Hope you're getting a good look at that. Maybe I can try and get in a little bit closer if I can keep my big fingers out of your way from seeing. And again, I do about an inch or two, and then I sew down on top of it. That one definitely needs to be trimmed. So we can always trim our longer pieces as we go through them. And put them on. Blue one up under there. Oh, look at that. Even the numbers on the side of the selvage. Again, any piece can be used. We are just making a little frou-frou design that we are going to use to decorate something else, whether it's a side of a book page, in our junk journal, our slam book, our sticker book, or it's tying back a curtain, or going around or under a candle, or a flower arrangement, or even cutting them really nice and tight and wrapping them with the fabric napkins that we use at a dinner party. We like to have company and use our frou-frou decorations a couple times a year. And holiday decorations are not cheap. So when you can make the holiday decorations yourself, it's so much fun, and it is a thrill that we are using pieces that would normally be thrown away. We're turning into fancy frou-frou decorations. So I just think that is so much fun and so cool. And it does take a little bit of patience and a little bit of shoulders to keep putting these through here and creating this beautiful project. And all the light kinds that you've cut together for the scraps, they do like sticking together. So you just got to keep pulling them apart. I don't need that one. Looks like a little lint ball. And let's get a different color. And with these colors, we are almost done, and we're going to take them off and show you what they look like. Okay, just bear with me another 4 or 5 inches and we will be all done with this piece and almost done with our scraps. So we have saved by upcycling, reusing, creating. We have saved our scraps from the trash pile and created a beautiful work of art. And we can also, when we take this out, if we want to add more color, add more pieces, we just pop it right back under the sewing machine and keep going, because there is no right or wrong. There is no maximum number of pieces that we can do when we're creating this project. So feel free, if you want it fuller, if you want it to be a little bit bolder, add in some solids. If you have the fabrics, if you have the scraps, please, please, please go for it. These colors are just sticking together because they were all trimmed at one time. Maybe add another piece or two on the bottom here. All right, and we're gonna go ahead and backstitch that. We are all set. We usually use the blue or the red thread for this, but we did use the gold because I've got the brown in there and I really wanted it to pop a little bit. So what do you think of that? Now I can go back over this and do a fancy stitch if we're going to lay it out for some fancy purpose, but I'm pretty excited about this piece. I think that it turned out very well. I have nothing loose in here when I shake it out, so we are ready to go ahead and use it for whatever project we want to. But we have used up that whole or most of the pile of scraps and created this beautiful strip roll. Strip it. Okay, so I kind of laid it out on the sewing machine so you'd get a little bit better look, and it's just looking gorgeous, I think. And again, we're talking about 4th of July, our Memorial Day. So if you have a decoration from last year, you can just simply add your fabric to it. So we're going to go ahead and put it around and just wrap it right around. Voila! And we are homemade, added to our decorations. A little frou-frou there. We can put it at the bottom. We can put it up top. Just adds a little bit of pizzazz to it. And again, this thing is so pizzazzy, maybe we didn't need to do that, but I like a little home touch to it. And if we just have the plain candle, we can also take our garland and wrap it around our candle. So we don't need a base or something else around the bottom. This will do the trick. And there we go. We have our Memorial Day or 4th of July celebration right on the bottom. Adds a lot to the frou-frou of the overall candle. We can manipulate, trim, cut off, whatever we want to do to the fabric to make it the correct size for us. All right. Okay, and I've grabbed out some of our junk journal pages, and I'm going to go in here and decide which one I want to go ahead and put the red, white, and blue on the edge of. And maybe this one. Looks like we've got a couple of pages there. I've got a little tuck there. I'm thinking I just put it right here on this page. I love that because it needs a little bit more, I think. And so if I take it down and pull it right back up on the back, and I can sew that right on there, and we'll have some more exciting page edge for our junk journal. So let me go ahead and do that real quick. And I'm simply going to lay this in. I still have the gold thread, but I think that's okay. We're going to lay this right under the needle. So if you can see that there, pull it in maybe a little bit for you. And I'm going to take it right up to the edge, lay it down right on the edge of that bow. Oh. See if we can lay a couple of those back down. Okay, let's pull it out, trim our threads, and we're going to go ahead and trim off our excess here that we have coming up. We don't need that. So let's take that, just trim it off, set that aside, and we have completed another snippet on the side of our page. And you know, when I'm junk journaling, when I'm diarying, when I put my stickers on, I love that extra texture on the side of the book. I just love it. I think that is grand. So thanks for joining me, and please, please, please hit that subscribe button if you haven't yet, and come right on back and see what next wonderful use we have, not only using our scraps, but using fabric and creating beautiful household projects and quilts. See you soon, my friends.